Okay, so we're going to go back to the question you just asked me.
Yes.
And what was the question again?
The question is, what exactly did you have to do to become a certified
Okay,
continuing
education
education
provider.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this is, excuse me, the short and the long of it. So the first thing is I've always been in education, in cosmetology teacher, substitute teacher, for the county, for the private career schools. And as far as the education piece is concerned, I was always having people ask me, okay, Miss Kim, I need help preparing for my state board. I need help with this. I need help with that. And I found that, okay, people keep asking me for help. Let me just go ahead and do this the right way. So I went through the state online questionnaire to become a provider. That was in 2017, before they made all these changes. We're 2025 now.
Right.
So in 2017, I went on to the state website. I downloaded the information. I went through all the processes and procedures for approval and got approval to do continuing education. Then after that, COVID happened.
Okay. Yes.
So when COVID happened, I was still in business. Where people were coming out of the salons and businesses were shutting down, I was still able to operate independently as an educational provider, doing continuing education. So I was helping people with, advancing their skills, helping people that didn't have a license get their license. They did the hours, they did the training, but they never went to take their exam. So I helped them with state board prep. That was wonderful. Grading classes, a whole bunch of different things. And then they started making changes to the criteria. If you are going to be a provider for any type of educational training, you have to now follow these processes that were set up by the state of Maryland. Exciting. Now, CEUs are mandated, they're mandatory. Before we used to just take them because we wanted to improve our education, improve our skill set. But now the state is saying, no, you have to do these hours. So you have 4 electives, that's 4, and then you have 2 that are mandatory. So what is the process for that? Who is going to be the provider? So I'm thinking, okay, I'm already doing continuing education. I've already got my approval letter and everything. That was 2017. So I'm going back and forth with the state saying, okay, so you set these new laws up. Why do I have to go through this? Because I already got approved in 2017.
Exactly.
That was a whole back and forth. So finally I said, okay, Kimberly, if you're going to do it, just go ahead and do the right thing. The only way that you could become a provider is if you had a private career school.
Okay.
Or if you are a school, like a public school, like a college or university, or if you sold textbooks. That's 3 categories. That's going to leave a whole lot of people out of
Exactly.
being able to be a provider for these things. But for me, and I listen to my Heavenly Father and that voice that talks to me, and that's a whole nother story. We can have that conversation later. But I started going through the process of opening up a private career school. And when people told me that I couldn't do it, that's impossible, you can't do that, nobody's opening up a school around here. Now there's more schools opening up. I'm not just the only one, but there's more people that are taking on that challenge of wanting to become a private career school and going and doing the work. It's hard work, and it's long and it's tedious. And a lot of people give up, but I refuse to give up. And I'm so glad that I did.
I'm glad
not.
you did. I'm glad you didn't either.
Okay.
What other than the CEU hours? Okay. So you do the actual state board prep, and you have a school for the CEU hours.
Right.
So you have both programs that you offer. Okay,
So
that's
we
good.
have the nail. So we got approved for nail technology training, approved by the state of Maryland, 250 hours, and our program is hybrid. So we have some online. Our full-time program is 6.25 hours, and our full-time program is 2.5 hours. And then within that, because now we are officially a private career school, we're able to offer the CEU hours course provided as a provider in the state of Maryland to all cosmetology professionals.
Wonderful. So, how long does it, if you do the state board prep,
Mhm.
you were just saying that you have different programs you can do online or in person. How many months is that?
I've played around with the time frame for that. At first, it was 4 weeks, but I found that while the student in training was able to get the practical, they were lacking in the theory.
Okay.
So we offer both. Some people need practical, some people need theory, some people need both aspects of the full program. So the full program is 3 months. So you're in
Okay.
here and we're splitting the time between your practical and theory applications. We do the practical first, we get you set up, we get your bag packed, we do the state board timing, prep, going to the state. We send you to the state, you get licensed, and right now I'm really excited. We have 100% approval on our
Wonderful.
there. Everybody that's coming through the program for state board, they're all passing, so that's great. We have a good track record with that. And then as far as the theory is concerned, it depends on their capabilities for learning, because we have had some students that struggle with their language, have language barriers, so it does take a little bit longer. And I'm fine with that. I want you to take as much time as you need, just as long as you get that practical first. If it takes 6 months to do theory, there's no problem with
Right.
that. And we don't add on extra fees. Oh, you've been here 2 months longer than you're supposed to be
So,
according to the
okay,
contract.
that's nice. So, I won't be charged or penalized for.
No, because we
Okay.
want you to pass.
And you set me up to
Abs-
take the test.
Yes.
You
and-
help me enroll,
Mhm.
do, my pre-certs,
Mhm.
and at that point, I'm just set to go take the test.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Do you have any way of helping me maybe locate a job once I?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that. So yes, we have a very large database of people that are looking for someone to work for them. So, part of the beauty exchange. So we have Miss Kim's Beauty LLC, which is the salon. That's the,
Okay.
that's the umbrella. And then with the Miss Kim's Beauty, we have the beauty exchange. So the beauty exchange is where we're networking with business professionals, whether they're vendors or salon owners, they're job seekers, or someone looking for a job, or someone that needs to be placed. So we have that foundation in place so that we can help, cross network and get people
Okay.
jobs and help jobs find employees. So yes, we're able to do that.
Oh,
Also.
that's nice. Now, with the going back to the continuing education hours, you said that you have once you get certified, you have to continue. How often will you have to continue with the CEU programs, and then are you continuously then updating to make sure that you're in line with the state?
Absolutely. So that was a great question. So we do have it's to a 2 year expiration. So
So
you
2
get
years. Okay.
yeah. So just like our license expires within 2 years. And even for me as a provider, I have to get my continuing education credits as well, and I have to resubmit every time I want to renew my providing capabilities. I still have to apply again. It's just not like automatic. I have to go back in and I have to say, okay, I want to continue to be a provider. These are the courses that I'm going to offer, and please may I? Yeah. So.
Okay, so you have to continuously get certified with them. So you are guaranteed to be up to date. Do
Oh,
they
yeah.
contact you then when, say, one of your old students is coming up close to?
No, it's completely my responsibility.
It's your responsibility. Okay.
And that's why also one of the things that I do proactively, I attend all of the state board meetings that they hold. They're public meetings. A lot of people don't know about it, but anybody that is in the beauty profession can sit on these board meetings to find out what changes are upcoming. Just like when PSI and when they made the changes to the exam, that was prior knowledge. We knew that already. It was just a matter of when it was going to happen. So a lot of people complain about, oh, I didn't know, but it's public information. So not knowing is, I'm an educator. Not knowing is not an excuse. We
So
have
where
to
would I
find
go
out.
then if I didn't know, for example?
We have to do our due diligence. So a lot of people will get their license, and this is common knowledge. I have been licensed for 30 years.
30
So
years.
what have you been doing? Well, actually, no, it's been 40.
Shaving
It's
a few
been
off,
40.
I see. But okay, 40.
You know, but hypothetically, someone that's been licensed for that long, they get comfortable with where they are and what they're doing, and they get in their space and they shut their door and they operate their business, but they don't do what they need to do to find out what's going on in the industry. So they're blind, they're working blind. And while trends are changing, the licenses are changing, laws are changing.
They're getting comfortable.
Yeah, and you're sitting there going, well, nobody told me. Well, nobody should have to tell you. We're all professionals. So you need to go out there and do your due diligence and find out what it is going on in this industry. I say that I love and I have passion for, to make sure that I'm not only doing right by myself, but I'm doing right by the people that are around me and that are patronizing my business. So,
So how often could you get surprise pop-ups from the state?
oh, that can happen whenever.
Oh, whenever.
And if you sit on one of the board meetings, you'll see how many establishments are failing.
Because they're not keeping certified.
Yeah, they're failing. They're failing because they either have operators that are not licensed. And as a matter of fact, I did just meet an older gentleman, and I'm not going to share any names, but he's a really kind person. But he was able to get away with not working with working without a license. And the establishment that he was working in also was working haphazardly, opening the doors, turning on the light. Okay, we're in business. No, you're not in business without a business license. You're not in business without a license to operate. You're operating beyond scope. And that is when damages and stuff can happen. You know, especially, we're just coming out of COVID. As far as I'm concerned, COVID happened yesterday. So
right. A lot of people are still mentally in that because it affected so many people.
Yeah, and we need to operate like it happened yesterday and it can happen again today. But I think a lot of people are getting really comfortable. Okay, we're taking our masks off. We're back outside. Yeah. What? Yeah. It's her name. But, so we get so comfortable and we forget what happened. We forget where we came from. We forget what it took for us to get to where we are today. So when someone strips that from you and takes it from you, now you're going, oh no, what do I do? So for instance, this person I was getting ready to tell you about, working without a license until you ask the question.
And then what happens if they find out?
State board comes in and they shut you down. So why even risk that?
Right.
So I say this,
so
and
keep
we're going
up the continuing education.
Yes.
And that's the key to it.
And it's the law.
Anyone can get the license, but to keep it up and to keep it up legally and to stay legit,
right.
That is where you come in.
I liked it. Did you hear what she said? She said that's where I come in. Okay. Ooh, let me fix my strap. So yes, that is where I come in. That is where we come in, because we are a team and we're in this together, and everyone that comes in here is in this together.
So how do I get a hold of you if I want to figure out how do I continue this so that I can stay on track, up to date, and make sure that I don't lose my license?
Absolutely. So we are revolutionaryinstituteofbeauty.org. You can email us at info@mkbellc.com. That's our general email address. Or you can also call us. Hold on, let me get the number. You can call us at 301-485-8738. That's right. The Revolutionary Institute of Beauty.org, or Miss Kim's Beauty LLC, or Miss Kim's Beauty Exchange. Those are all of our businesses. That's where you can find us. It's really easy. Just Google us. You can't
all
miss
three.
us.
I can find it on any one of those.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm going to be looking into that, and
Yay.
I appreciate. And you do offer help with the financial aspect, because that will be a concern.
Yes. Thank you for asking that. We do have. Because we are a brand new school, we don't have accreditation yet.
Okay.
But we do have payment plans, in-house payment
good.
plans. So it's easy to make your payments so you can go ahead and get the education that you came here for.
Okay. It's
Yep.
good that you're flexible with that, because I can say, as a single mom, I would need all the flexibility I could get with that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, I think that's something that somebody should look into.
All right now. So don't talk about it, be about it. And we'll see you here at the Revolutionary Institute of Beauty sooner than later. Thank you for watching.